Welcome back to part two of our LBW discussion. I'm your host, Jack.
I'm Ivan.
I'm Kaiwan.
And I'm Jackie.
Be sure to check out part one for more contextual information about LBW as well as the academics at the program. This session will focus on the activities and student life during the program. This episode will follow the same format as the previous episode, which is a Q&A session. With that, I'll turn the floor over to Jackie and Kaivan to ask questions.
I just wanted to follow up on what we were talking about to end part one about how you guys work with so many different people and had the chance to build connections. I guess do you guys still keep in contact with the people you met at Wharton, and how many people were at the camp, and how many would you say you really felt like you had the chance to connect with and network with?
Um, I I had the chance to network with quite a lot of people. Like initially when we came into the program on check-in day, we got to meet and tour the campus and its boundaries with our room counseling groups, which are people that are people that are on your floor and also other people that are on I think the floor above you or maybe the floor below you. Maybe it depends. So I got to work with a lot of people there. And also sometimes when there was a lot of activities at the rooftop, you could also connect with people if you want to play cards with someone, or for example, we also we watched the NBA finals and also got to talk to a lot of people up there, which were also, for me at least, a fan of the Heat. And that also could also continue the collaborative environment of LBW, even if it's on both the activities and the academics end.
Yeah, since there was what 120 kids around in the LBW program, there was a lot of people to get to know. And by the end of the third week, basically everyone knew each other. And like there were a lot of, as Jack said, there were a lot of activities on the rooftop. There was silent disco. In the first week, there was just people just hanging out in the rooftop. There's just a great way. I think what LBW does great is it provides us with so many opportunities to get to know each other. Um, like since it was one of their main points to collaborate and foster teamwork, they provide us extremely so many opportunities to get to know each other, and especially the way we are organized, the activities are, and then the schedules are organized throughout the day. There's a lot of time for us to go around, talk to new people, different people, hang out with different people. So just a great time.
Man, that sounds really fun. I love meeting new people, especially if they're totally from a different part of the world. It's always interesting to see what someone from China does with their free time and type of things that they like to watch, or just their hobbies as a whole. So I think that's really nice that you got a lot of time to have fun and just know them a little bit more. But yeah, as I mentioned, so were there a lot of international students? I know Jack, I heard that you brought some fun foods and little snacks to camp. Things like that. So did the international students bring anything fun? Was there a lot of cultural exchanges? I feel like that's so fun to experience.
Yeah, definitely. There's quite a lot of international students. Um, there was quite a couple from China, some from Indonesia, some from Singapore, some from India, um, even some from Russia. But it's just there's a way more international students than you would expect going to such a program, and I think that's a good way because you finally understand that maybe for me at least Bay Area isn't the only world that you know I know about anymore. So know about people, what their experience in Indonesia is like, what their experience in China is like. And since these people obviously go to international schools, um they're they can communicate with you well, and they just have just a different cultural experiences that, maybe you don't typically see day to day.
Yeah, for sure, definitely agree with that. I definitely felt that there was like a cultural exchange. In fact, one of my roommates was also an international student, and I brought him some Chicago style popcorn, and he ate a lot of it. So it was really nice, and it was really fun to meet, connect with international students, and definitely like get to know like their life, and like especially like what they do in their free time, and do a little culture exchange. That was really, really fun. And we also got to eat like traditional foods together, so that was also good.
Wait, sorry. Traditional foods together? Like, do you want to talk a little bit more about that? Like,
I
did
guess
they?
like I guess like me personally, I'm a picky eater, so like we got to like explore like different like new like food options that I'd never tried before, like especially in the area like Philly has the area around UPenn has decent food options and like a lot of like different like cuisines. So it was really nice to like try those cuisines and see if we like
Oh,
them or not.
that's so cool. Like, was it like let's say someone from China came over and they're like, oh yeah, this Chinese restaurant, let's go there, or was it like, oh, let's all try this, I don't know, like Argentinian restaurant?
I think it
Like,
was more the latter because like if you for like the former, I feel like maybe that's like for like someone who's already like been to that restaurant, like so
uh-huh.
like people like they like check the menus and say, oh, this restaurant's interesting. Maybe we should like go as a group or something like that. And it was definitely like really fun
Oh,
to do that for
that's
sure.
cool. So like you just like went around and like tried different like foods around the world. Oh, that's so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Like, what was like, um, what was like the campus, I guess, and the surrounding area as well? Did you guys like go explore like Philadelphia with other students?
Yeah, definitely. Like UPenn by itself is already a very large campus. It's an open campus, so it's not all buildings in the surrounding areas are part of UPenn. So it's a great way to, experience college life, but also experience city life at the same time. And there's a lot of opportunities to go and explore Philly by itself. Like there were, even though we're not allowed to go out of our boundaries, um, they did lead some trips out to like Central City, and then there we can explore Chinatown, stuff like that.
Yeah, I definitely agree. There were like a lot of like opportunities to explore Penn, even though there were like a lot of boundaries. Like some of the activities like made that up. Like a group of people were also able to go to the King of Prussia Mall, which is like in the suburbs of Philly. So it was nice to get a feel of just like the suburbs of Philly and not just like the city. And obviously the campus is like really big. So like the area like around it is also like really nice to explore.
Oh, I feel like that's so fun. I think like just being able to like meet so many new people and like explore the city and like as you said, Jack, the different types of foods in the area, that sounds really, really fun. And then also this is like kind of a random question, but like in your dorm rooms, so did you guys ever have like, I don't know, midnight snack times or like, oh, let's play Uno at like 1 a.m. or like those, fun things that happen?
Oh, we're not allowed to be outside our rooms after 12. So if that happened, that would be with our roommates.
Yeah,
And
that's what I meant, like
yeah,
with your
yeah,
those
but
bonding experience
um,
with your
yeah,
roommates.
but I only had one roommate. Jack had three. So we had quite different experiences. But yeah, it generally depends on how energetic you're past midnight. Since I had jet lag, so I was quite energetic in the first week after midnight. And yeah, it's like we had trips to Ben and Jerry's, and like on the second day, I bought 3 pints of ice cream for $20, and I still had some left on the last day. So I guess you can count that as a midnight snack.
Yeah, I can definitely like attest to that. I think I have more of like a midnight experience because I definitely had more roommates and we watched a few like shows together, played some cards. And then just like Ivan, I also went out to get some snacks, some ice cream, some cookies, and some other stuff. And in the end, unfortunately, I didn't finish all of it by the time the camp ended. So yeah, I was pretty energetic on the first week, but it started like dying down more as like we like got used to the schedule. But like just like the time like before midnight, I'd say like especially from 11 to 11:30, I think we're most energetic because we could still be out of our rooms. By 11:30, you have to be like on your floor, which also means that you can like interact with people that are on your floor. And so I remember on like the first few days we played poker in our room lounges and in our floor lounges, like that are on our floor with like other people on our floor. So that was certainly really fun.
Did you guys have like a curfew where you had to be like inside the rooms and stuff?
Yeah, that was at 12.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I think a lot of like other summer camps are a lot stricter, but like this gives you like more of a chance to, I guess, get to know other people. So I think that's a really positive thing about Wharton.
Did you guys get like food together? Like I know Jack, you mentioned like trying out new foods. By the way, guys, I did not eat dinner yet, so that's maybe why I'm so focused on food right now. But I think that's so interesting. Like aside from that, but like did you guys grab lunch together like as a team? Did you guys grab dinner together, like bonding experiences? Like how was that like?
Yeah, every day, we had to get lunch somewhere. So we would usually go out in our little groups to get lunch, whether or not from different places every day. And they also did the thing called like TA lunches where you can get lunch with one of the TAs, which is really nice. I think Jack can talk a little bit more on that. He was really active during those sessions. And yeah, just like since there are like so many options, especially with the inclusion of food trucks, like I know everybody says get food trucks at UPenn, you should listen to them. And yeah, so there's just so many options on campus that going out in groups get you like have try a little bit more options.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Ivan about food trucks. The food were really nice. And I'll go into more depth about TA lunches. So basically what TA lunches are, they start on the second week, but TA lunches are when like you can go in a group with a teaching assistant, and then you can go to like most of the time it was Houston Market, which was like the dining hall where you could use your dining dollars. And basically what you do is you eat dinner with them. I mean, sorry, you eat lunch with them. And then you get to like just talk about like campus life because all the TAs are UPenn students. They're either undergrads or graduate students. So you could definitely like talk to them about their experiences at Penn, what they liked, what they were surprised by, how the city life was, and even maybe like advice about like applying to colleges.
Oh, that's so nice. I love that like you guys are able to do that. I've heard that like Penn has, oh, maybe colleges as a whole, but I was talking to one of the professors and he was talking about how like sometimes the professors would take their students out for something like just to get them like to know them a little bit more. So that's so nice that like they continue that trend with like TAs to like the summer camp students. So that's so cool to get to know them. Were they like very involved with the process, or was it like how what did you guys like go to them for help a lot, or was it more like a friendly figure there?
Yeah, the TAs and lecturers usually stay behind after after lectures or discussion sessions, and they're really willing to like just sit down and talk, even if it doesn't really, you know, even if the subject isn't about what we talked about for the last 2 hours, right? They would, especially like the few TAs would talk like how to apply to colleges, why they specifically majored in their major, things like that, and they're super helpful. And like I would say it's really worth it. I know it's like negatively looked upon by others to stay behind, talk to lecturers, but I feel like it's extremely worth it. Like if you actually have something to talk about, like don't go to them for the sake of talking to them. Go to them with something to talk about, something you're genuinely curious about.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, like you have to like remember at the end of the day, they're UPenn students. They're either undergrads or graduates. So they'll help, they can like really help you out. They can like really enlighten you with what they know. And like especially their knowledge. Like we had TAs that were not only MBAs, but also we had business. We had some computer science TAs that helped us with a few like data collections, especially in some of our simulations. So especially with like so many TAs coming from so many like different like backgrounds and different like majors, different concentrations, and that was definitely really helpful to learn about like campus life and just anything else that you really was curious about.
Because my next question is like, what was the campus like? Was there like restaurants like on campus, or is it like you guys like going like out of campus and walking into the city to find like things to do or like places to eat at?
Well, the options were limited, quote unquote, by how much you can actually go around campus. Like there were tons of options off of our home area that we sadly couldn't go to because, for our own safety and stuff, because Philly is Philly. There's a lot of suspect things going on. So obviously for our safety, you couldn't go out in a certain area, but within our home area, there are definitely tons of restaurants, whether they chain restaurants or like just local family run businesses. There's just a lot of diversity there.
Yeah, there are a lot of like different like cuisines that I talked about. There are a lot of Chinese, Japanese, Korean, and like a lot of other like Mexican cuisines as well. They're all like really diversified, gave a lot of food options, and also like on our trips to like to Center City in particular in Chinatown, there were a ton of food options, and the ones we tried were all pretty tasty.
Yeah, I can imagine Chinatown having a lot of different restaurants. Yeah, so I think that's like really cool that there's just so much bonding and things like that. So what do you think was your favorite like moment with your friends at Wharton's LBW program? Like from a non-academic perspective, of course.
Probably favorite moments are probably what usually happen, like just hanging out in the lounge, because like we will usually organize games and stuff by ourselves, and those are just really fun moments. You get to bond with people really nearby, and it's just sharing experiences in general. Like you keep on learning new stuff even when you have known them for 3 weeks now.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like definitely like lounge time was really fun. And also like even like during like times before where everyone could just like go into like different rooms. Like for me at least, my RC group and I had a good amount of parties, and
I
we
heard you
went to
had a birthday party. I heard you had a
it was an early birthday party, but it was still a party and it was still really fun. So it was definitely a good chance to like connect with a lot of people and just like talk to them. That was my early birthday party, I had to say, was honestly one of my top moments for sure. Another one of my top moments that we have to like mention is Hershey Park, which is definitely really fun because we got to go ride a lot of roller coasters with people, and that was like really fun because personally before Hershey Park I kind of had a little bit of stigma for roller coasters, and then after riding a few, like I kind of got rid of the stigma, and like I can ride like harder like roller coasters now for sure. So that was like really fun.
Yeah, I guess like lastly was like um would you say like student life was more central than like than what you guys were like actually like learning? Did you like spend more time out of the classroom, like not when you're learning, like did you like spend more time doing like the work you were assigned, or did you spend more time kind of like doing whatever you wanted and going out about like with others?
Uh, since the workload wasn't too heavy, we definitely had a lot of time to like connect with others, especially with the activities. The summer discovery would host, like, since there was summer discovery and Wharton, so summer discovery handle more of the student activities, while Wharton will handle more of the academic stuff. But summer discovery would do a lot of activities such as like um or was it capture the flag, or things like what was it, volleyball, things like that, and just like a lot of time afterwards to just hang out and chill.
Yeah, I definitely think that there were more time, especially in the first 2 weeks, that were allocated toward like connecting with people and like just like meeting new people. There were like a lot of good activities. Like every Tuesday, there's a movie night where they host two movies. Spider-Man stuck around for all 3 weeks, but the other movie usually rotated. And there were just like a lot of activities that were like handled. And then on the weekends, we were initially supposed to go to a Phillies game, but in the end, well, we couldn't go because that was an away game in California. So we had to switch to Baltimore, which was also like really fun to explore a new city with a lot of like good new friends, and that was like really nice for sure. So this brings us to the conclusion of our activities and student life episode of Wharton Leadership in the Business World. So thank you for tuning into the episode today. Make sure to join us next week on the Teams for Business podcast for another interesting discussion.